Sunny Horsham, catching up with Nathan Jack. Driver's life, it never stops. Incredible sort of 24 hours for you, mate. You've seen plenty of this rain, though.
Yeah, I don't miss days like this. I'll give you the tip, but, well, the days are all right, just the weather's no good.
We're here in Horsham, and the weather's turned a bit ugly here and all the rest, but I want to recap quickly on Just Hope. Well, not quickly, but one brilliant win last night in the New South Wales Oaks. Great fillet for yourself, great fillet for the owners, and timing can be everything for everyone involved, can't it?
Yeah, for sure. You know, she's a great filly and she's a good type of filly, and I've always had a big rap on her. And you know, she's a Group 1 winner at 2, and probably a little bit disappointing a couple of times, and then had a break and come back and it's been tip-top form this season. Disappointing in the heat, but I don't think she travelled up that well. Had a pretty quiet week, and then sort of real sharp last night.
Why does she fly under the radar? You hear blokes like Dan Malecki and those, they're always high on it. Everyone you listen to on Trots Vision, they're high on her, yet she never seems to get any kudos.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. When she raced a Moray Vita at Melton, Hunter Cup night, I couldn't see Moray Vita beating her for the life of me, and she destroyed us, and I went home shattered, and then she beat us at Menangle easy, and yeah, it was, I guess last night was a good night to turn the tables, that's for sure.
If you're going to turn it, that's the time. That is the time to turn it. Not quickly, I can talk for as long as I want. You've got a long trip home, but that's okay. But your return to the racetrack, from your own point of view, you must be wrapped. I saw a stat today, I think you've had 21 drives and already won 2 Group 1s.
Yeah, I've had a lot of luck and a lot of support from great owners, great trainers, great friends. You know, like owners like Denny's Abertanos, Lauriston Bloodstock, Terry Cluse. Like without Terry and Ros Cluse, I wouldn't be here. My father, Russell, and all the team at home. You know, that they've all carried the fort for a long time, and I'm sure it's a relief now for them as well.
I've got no doubt it is, but I think you're underselling what you've been able to do yourself. I saw today Mark Pitt got a driving double as well. We see a lot of people, good sportsmen, that it takes a while to get your ring craft back. You've just come back, bang, straight away. It must be rewarding on a personal note for yourself.
Yeah, it is. Like Ararat was sort of good. It was like one of my first major wins back, and then Newcastle, well, that was a shock. But last night was pretty special. You know, she's a special filly to us, and yeah, last night meant a lot. But I think it's like anything. You watch them while you mightn't have been in and active in the sport, but you still watch them and keeping your eye in. And you know, I don't think you lose your ability. I know you just probably might mess a couple up here and there, but I think you've either got it or you don't.
I could make this go forever and a day, and I don't want to. I might sit down and do a podcast with you one day about it, though. But does it make you hungry when you're out of it?
Oh, for sure. It probably the main thing it done to me, it taught me that my licence was a privilege to have and not just something that you were given. And it does make you hungry, like you miss it. And how many of us get to go to a job every day that we love? Like, there's not many people that get to do that in life. A lot of people go to jobs that they hate. And we're lucky enough to go to a job and we love the horses and we get to spend every day with them. So I think that's a very important thing.
I think there's a lot in that. I think, you know, I get a lot of people turn around and say to me, hey, why don't you stop and all that? But if you love something, it's so easy to do it. You were in Sydney last night, you're here in Horsham today, you still got a smile on your face. You had no joy here today, but you still got a smile on your face. Yeah,
well, last night was a long trip home, but the victory made it a lot shorter anyway. And then tonight will probably be a longer trip home, especially in this weather. But you got to take the good with the bad, and that's just the way it goes. If you can't do that, you're probably in the wrong game.
Loris and Bloodstock, they've been terrific to you. They were terrific to you before. You got rubbed out. They've been terrific straight away. They've come back, they've embraced you. They're great supporters of yours, Bill and Ann, aren't they? Yeah, they're great friends of mine, Bill and Ann. You know, Bill's always giving me advice, and he probably thinks he's harping on, but I always listen to it and try and follow it, because he's a very smart man. Ann sort of doesn't say much, but you know, if Ann speaks, it's worth listening to. She sort of reminds me a bit of Gavin Lang when he spoke. It was worth listening to, and Ann's a bit the same. She doesn't say much, but when she says it, you got to listen. They're very passionate people. They're great for harness racing, what they're doing. They're selling 2 horses. One of the reasons the phone's in the hand and the interview's been done right now, because I'd like to probably sit down a bit of time, but they're actually selling 2 horses next week at the APG sale in Sydney. They've got lots number 587, which is an American Ideal out of Rosie O'Reilly, which is a lovely filly. I've actually seen her in person. But the Captain Treacherous, Queen of Pop, timing is everything. Like, I mean, they support you. they would have been sitting there last night. They would have been saying thank you very much for timing, getting that word out to the Sydney audience about how good this filly is and how good this colt really is as a looker.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I've been lucky enough to have a fair bit to do with the Lauriston bloodstock over a lot of years, and probably the most disappointing part to me is a lot of people say, oh, they pick and choose and they keep the best ones. Well, they don't know which ones are the best ones. They're all for sale. Last year they had 2 really nice fillies for sale and they just didn't get the money. They never had silly reserves on them and they just never made the money, so they kept them. And yeah, they're sellers.
We saw the same at Nutrien the other day. They kept one because it didn't get their price, and I think rightfully so. It was cheap.
Well,
so
they sold Just Hope, so
yeah,
you know, like just things like that. That sort of gets to me a little bit because they're not that sort of people. They might pick 1 or 2 out, but they only like picking them out of the paddock when they're foals or weanlings, and they stick to that, and that's it.
Yeah, definitely. Just Hope. How far can she go? It's probably a hard thing to ask because you've been out of it for a while, but beforehand, you drove a lot of nice fillies and the rest. I don't think it's sort of raised that far in the time that you've left. So, like, how far can she go?
Yeah, I think she's a real good filly. Like, I think she's been underestimated her whole life, really. But yeah, she can work with the fast class ones at home and acquit herself well. And I think she'll get to, you know, I'm hoping in 12 or 18 months' time she's a Ladyship Mile, man.
Wow, Ladyship Mile.
Yeah.
Because that's a good push. And I hope she does for you and for everyone involved, because it's a good bit of confidence. I say a couple of times about the weather. Like, the weather last night was horrendous. That can throw some fillies out of order too, can't it? Like, but she seemed to excel at it.
Yeah, nothing sort of worries her. Like, you watch her last night, she wore no boots or anything like that, you know. And it's the first night we've raced her with no boots, but she usually wears no knee boots. But no boots last night. Just nothing worries her. Runs the gate good, relaxes. Just a perfect racehorse.
Nath, I'm glad you're back. I reckon it's a bit of fun. Just one thing I want to quickly touch on, and a lot of people can't see it. Did you second guess yourself when you got the cheekbone injury there, when you started coming back? You're thinking, what am I doing? Or
oh no, it sort of hurt my pride more than anything. But nah, it's just one of those things that happen. And like I said, I've been kicked probably 3 times in my life, and that was one of them. But that's just the way it goes.
Anyone that sees it, when I say this, I say, oh, you're lucky. Anyone that saw it would be thinking, how can you say he's lucky? But you were very, very lucky to get away with no injuries at all, really. Yeah,
I was very lucky. Yeah, maybe I'm getting a bit old and slow, Paul.
Don't look at me so hard when you say that. No, thank you very much. As I said, Bill and Ann are selling it's lot number 577. He's a Captain Treacherous and a Queen of Pop next week at the APG sales. Yep, I spruik them. That's what I get told to do, but that's what I do. But Bill and Ann are very good to me. They're very good to yourself. Llowalong Farms, it's going into Sydney. They'll be going up about Thursday. If you want to get a look at it, make sure you ring Kath McIntosh at Llowalong Farms. Get out there and look at him. I've seen him. He's a beautiful colt. His videos are up. There's photos up there as well, done by Desiree Stewart. So make sure that you get out there and have a look at him. He's a lovely, lovely colt. Have you been to see him?
I have.
Yeah, he's a nice colt. You're not saying much. He plays poker. Don't worry about that. He's all good. No, thank you very much. Thanks for hanging around. There's not many horses left, but I really appreciate your time, mate. And welcome back. We might sit down and do a podcast and get a bit D&M if you like.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'm up for anything.
Thanks, Dave. Nathan, thank you.
Thank you.